What is up, guys? It's your boy Solheim here, back with another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. So today we're talking about server population and in general just the population of Wrath of the Lich King Classic, but I'm making this video specifically for the Fresh servers and talking about my experience and asking you guys for your experience as well. This video will be highly based on my experience on the Fresh servers that I have been playing on, so when the Fresh servers came out, I made a complete shift to play on Giant Stalker, and I played on Giant Stalker quite a bit. I have two accounts myself, so I have one level 80 on the other account as well, and also two level 70s on the other account, so in total I have two level 80s and roughly 4 level 70s, or somewhere around the level 70 mark, on this Fresh server called the Giant Stalker, and my experiences hasn't really been that great. The server was booming and super fantastic at the beginning, but for some reason when Wrath came out it died down drastically, and this is the PvE server for Europe, or it's one of the PvE servers. I think it's the only PvE server for Fresh, but yeah, this one is the one that I chose. And if you play on Thekol, for example, or Jindo, those were also Fresh servers, so you can see when you go to the server character server selection screen, you can see population, full, low, high, full, and we also have the category of new. So these new servers are the Fresh servers that came out with the Wrath pre-patch. So we have Giant Stalker for PvE, we have Thekol for PvP, and we have Jindo for PvP. So if any of you are playing on Thekol or Jindo, or any of the North American servers as well for that matter, let me know if your experiences are the same as mine, or just let me know what your experiences have been on these Fresh servers so far, and let me know which server you're playing on, as I do believe that will play a vital part in this discussion. So let me log into Giant Stalker and show you guys what that looks like right now, and it doesn't look that great. So yeah, this is Dalaran. This is what Dalaran looks like. There's like 2 or 3 other people here. There's basically almost nobody in the main capital of the expansion, and even if I do a /who Stormwind right now, so /who Stormwind for example, just in case people are in Stormwind rather than Dalaran, there's a total of 8 people in Stormwind, which is way too few people. Let me see their guilds as well. We have a couple of them playing in the Mortal Guild, so there's a Mortal Guild going on Giant Stalker, which is kind of cool, but the fact is there's just not enough players on this server. It feels absolutely barren at times, so let me do a /who 80 to see. There's 25 level 80s currently online here, and they're pretty much spread out across the place. I'm one of them, a few of us are in Dalaran, and some are in other locations as well. So far, this has been my experience on the server. At the beginning, in phase 1, like in the pre-patch, it was absolutely very popular, rivaling even, for example, Pyrewood Village in terms of popularity. There were a lot of people starting out on these Fresh servers. Now, in phase 1, the popularity kept kind of growing a little bit. I do think a few people jumped off the train, like jumped off the hype train, when Wrath came out to play their so-called main characters, and I noticed this in phase 1, like when raiding was at its peak, we couldn't find priests. We literally had to do a /who priest search and whisper priests and try to get them in for the mind control tactic in Naxxramas, and we wanted to have at least 1, preferably 2 priests, and our guild didn't have a priest, so we had to pug the priests, and every single time we had to bring in super undergeared priests just for the sake of having them, because it was so difficult to find that one class on this server. It was unbelievable, and now it feels the server just feels dead. It's a barren, it's a desert, it's the Sahara Desert. I don't know, it really feels dead. If you log on a Wednesday every now and then, even though today is Wednesday, it's past midnight now, so that might be a little bit of the reason why, but it's literally Wednesday, and today, so far, I've been online since 9 PM, I've seen 1 Ulduar pug on a reset night. one Ulduar pug. That is not really a lot of activity happening on what is supposed to be a somewhat popular server, one of the most recent servers that was added to the game itself, and I don't know, I just feel kind of broken about this. But I wanna talk a little bit about what they can do about this as well, because personally I think something has to be done when it comes to these servers, and Blizzard has to kind of fix this somehow. So I want to bring this over to wowclassicpop.com, which is the website for the WoW Census Plus scanning add-on that has been used in-game a lot to determine how many players are online, like not just based on logs, but based on actual in-game scans, to see how many people are actually playing the game. So based on this, I have filtered this to be in the last 30 days. So this is based on people that has been seen in the last 30 days, which is kind of measuring the active activity kind of on these servers. And once again, I will mainly be focusing on the Fresh PvE server here and comparing that to Pyrewood Village, but you can also compare your server to other servers on this website as well, if you want to do that by yourself. First of all, Giant Stalker. Over here we can see that on the Horde side there's supposed to be 1,800 people. I can't speak for the Horde side because I'm only playing Alliance on this server, but even on Alliance there's supposed to be almost 7,000 people playing. I can't see any of them. Like right now there was like what, 25 max level players online on a reset night, that is. I don't know where all these numbers are coming from or where they're supposed to be, but definitely does not feel like 7,000 people, especially considering there's barely ever any pugs happening. I guess everyone that is playing here is either raid logging or leveling alt or something, because I can't see any of these people when I log on. Either way, those are the numbers, and if you compare that to, for example, Pyrewood Village, Horde has almost twice as many people, and Alliance also has just about twice as many people. So Pyrewood Village, just about twice as popular as Giant Stalker is right now, but when I'm in game it feels like it's 10 times the amount of people, because when I log on to Pyrewood Village it's packed with people 24/7, both in terms of the auction house, the items on the auction house, the people you see in the open world, the people you see in Dalaran, and the people you see in your capital city as well. Now, there's a couple more interesting servers here that I want to take a look at. One of them is the popular streamer server Fairlina. Is this one true? I do not play on North America, but I noticed this one today. It says 50 people, and they're all Horde. First of all, I believe this was an Alliance-sided populated server back in the day. Probably like 70% Alliance and 30% Horde, if I'm correct. Now it's like almost nobody playing, and it says 50 Horde are playing there. That can't be true, but if anyone is playing North America and /or playing Fairlina, and you can double check this for me, that is ridiculous. Going from being a streamer populated, the most popular server in the world probably, with all the streamers on it and being Alliance favored, to now having no Alliance at all. I guess they all went to Pagel, because that one is now sitting on 27,000 people, all pretty much playing Alliance on that one. This looks like a very popular server. The biggest one I think we have on Europe is Gehennes, which is sitting on less than half. Yeah, less than half, and this one is supposed to be super popular. I can't even begin to imagine what Pagel must look like. But yeah, the PvE server, the Fresh servers really feel barren to me. Now, Thekkel kind of paints a different picture, sitting at 8.8k on Horde and 8.9k on Alliance, which is a very surprising faction balance. It is staying at a roughly 50-50% faction balance, which is incredible. I did not believe this was going to happen, because there's a trend here. Almost every single server tends to go towards one side or the other at some point, and so far that doesn't seem to have happened on Thekkel, but once again, if you're playing there and you have a different story to tell, please let me know in the comment section down below. And now, just to show you the differences in real time between Giant Stalker, the new and fresh PvE server on my region, and Pyrewood Village, this is what the Dalaran looks like on Giant Stalker. And once again, if I do a /who Stormwind on Giant Stalker as well, we can see there's a grand total of 10 people in Stormwind. So I'm going to log over to Pyrewood Village right now so we can see how many people are currently online on that side. So already by logging into Dalaran, we can see there's quite a few people just standing outside right here. And if I go towards the bank, which is where I just was on my previous character on Giant Stalker, and right here on Pyrewood, we can see there's quite a few people just standing around, running around. There's always people in the open world and in the capital city, which feels great. You feel like the server is alive, you feel like there's people playing the game. If you play on Giant Stalker, it feels completely different, feels like you're pretty much almost alone playing. There's never any like activity going on in chat, and over here if I do a /who Stormwind, Stormwind, yeah, we can see there's more than 50 people in Stormwind, and if I log onto a character in Stormwind as well, we can see just how many people there are. So remember how Giant Stalker had a total of 10 people in Stormwind? Well, I can see probably twice that amount right now, just on my screen right now. And by going to the auction house, there's probably going to be quite a few people standing inside there as well. So yeah, we can see literally a night and day difference between those two servers, even though the WoW Classic Pop website tells a different story, and it's supposed to be, well, Giant Stalker is supposed to be roughly half of what Pyrewood is like. Well, this looks like almost 10 times as many people if you ask me. Maybe not quite 10 times, but literally at least 5 times as many people if you ask me once again. But yeah, let me know your story in the comment section down below. I don't really know what has happened here, but just less and less people are playing those fresh servers, which feels absolutely terrible for me personally, because I was having a blast playing on those servers, and the community on those fresh servers were amazing until people started leaving. And here's what makes this feel even worse. I'm basically not allowed to leave. Like, I'm basically stuck playing on this server. The only place I'm able to leave is if I go to a other different low pop server. If we go back to the realm list right here, I'm playing on a PvE server. The only servers I can go to right now, or the only server I can go to, is Netherguard Keep, which is a high pop server like you can see right here, but I'm not allowed to go over to Pyrewood Village because it's classified as full. So what happens here if I go to Giant Stalker, for example, and for some reason it looks like you're able to transfer now, so it feels like they probably stealth put this in, where we can now transfer off of these fresh servers, but I am not allowed to go to Pyrewood. So if I try to go to Pyrewood right here, we have Pyrewood Village PvE, and by clicking continue you will get an error message telling you that the selected realm is not accepting character transfers at this time. So what Blizzard needs to do here is give us the opportunity to transfer to the higher populated servers, like for example Pyrewood Village, even though it's classified as full right now. Well, according to the WoW Classic Pop website we just looked at, the what is it called, the Pages server in North America is twice the size of Pyrewood Village. So if Pyrewood is currently locked and full and not able to be transferred to, what about Pages? Is that like super full? Is that one like permanently locked until the end of time? If that one can hold 28,000 players, I am sure that Pyrewood Village can theoretically hold more people, and it's just locked for no reason, like for no reason whatsoever. Give us the opportunity to transfer to a higher populated server, and they give us free transfers. I think even now I do have a free transfer, but I only have that free transfer to that one server. I only have that one to, let's see here, Netherguard Keep, which is a high pop server, so like it's something, but it's not what I want, but it's something. Another alternative they could consider sometime down the line is to merge servers as well, which I think kind of goes against what Classic stands for, so maybe don't do that. But this also brings in the argument of random dungeon finder. It would be so much easier for me to find groups. Like right now, by playing on Giant Stalker, I can't find groups for anything. I want to level up from level 70 to 80, there's no dungeon groups. I want to do heroics at max level, there's literally no heroic groups at all. People are either like not level 80 or they are raid logging. There's almost never any heroic groups running on this server, and I can't get any heroic plus groups either. It's either, once again, fresh level 80s, no level 80s, or raid logging level 80s that are not doing that type of content. Having something more cross-realm would make it a lot more accessible for someone like me playing on these fresh servers to actually do the content. That will probably be a whole different video for a different time, but yeah, once again, let me know your experiences down in the comment section. I'm sorry if this video turned into somewhat of a rant, but I wanted to talk a little bit on the fresh servers because I haven't really done that since the launch of Wrath, and these fresh servers have been playing a major part in my Wrath experience, as well as the Wrath pre-patch experience. It is worth noting though that I have been playing on Pyrewood Village, though that is where my current mains are, so I am playing on Pyrewood, but I have also been playing on Giant Stalker. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you stayed until the end, please let me know in the comment section as well. Just type the word end and I'll give you a heart. It's been a long video, but either way, thank you so much for watching and listening, and as always, I'll see you again very soon.